Father Simon and the judicial juggernaut. I need to apologise to Matt because it's a little FA Cuppy.
Well, that was a great result for West Brom. Well done to them. I think we all agree.
But not in an off-putting way, Bobby. Not in a I haven't got a clue what you're talking about kind of way.
Are you talking about me? I know Manchester United
Quite
play
right.
Yeovil at the weekend.
Yes.
I knew
In
that.
the early 1980s, Lanky Frankie says, I was a semi-professional footballer playing in the lower leagues around Reading. If you ask my teammates to describe, they'd probably say I tackled like Gary Lineker.
In other words, didn't.
I shot like Norman Hunter.
In other words, didn't.
However, being 6'4" tall, I was a Mark Hateley-like figure who won everything in the air.
Mark Hateley, rather good.
So very tall.
and very good at heading.
Thank you for that.
It's like with subtitles,
Yes.
this one. In August 1981, I joined a new team with ambitions of playing in the FA Cup first round. Our team had a new coach, Mad Harry, who came with a hard man reputation. Mad Harry had played for Millwall and Leighton Orient. No surprise. And he told us on day one that we were too soft and definitely uncommitted. We would therefore be training like no one had ever trained before, and anyone who lacked commitment would be dropped to the reserves. The season started well. We won all our qualifying and preliminary matches for the FA Cup and were top of the league. Mad Harry was unstoppable. He beasted us in training and had iron discipline, and we went from being rubbish rovers to a win machine. Away from the pitch, my brother Paul was getting married in a few months' time, and I was going to be best man. But, you know the thing, the wedding was set for the day of the last qualifying round of the Cup, and I had a dilemma. I couldn't ask to miss the match if we got that far, but also I couldn't let my brother down. So I hatched a cunning plan, which, like me, was simple. As football fans may know, if you get 4 yellow cards over a run of matches, you then get... That's for a booking. Bobby,
Is
if you
it?
misbehaviour...
Okay, not a red card, a yellow card.
The red card will come after the yellow card.
Okay.
If you get 4 yellow cards over a run of matches, you would then get suspended for the next match. It was so simple. During late August and early September, I collected the first 2 for complaining about offside decisions. I got my 3rd yellow card for complaining about a disallowed goal. Thanks to a few match call-offs, it was suddenly a week before the wedding, and I was still 1 yellow card short of a suspension, which I was going to need if I was going to be best man. So the next game was my last chance to get booked. I got to the ground and saw that the referee was a guy we knew affectionately as Trigger. Now, Trigger was a stickler for the laws of the game and had a reputation for being quick to issue cards. This was going to be a doddle to get a yellow card, I thought. As it turned out, Trigger was superb on that day. He didn't make any wrong decisions against us. He allowed our 3 goals, and in an unusually good mood. 75 minutes in, he'd given the other side 3 yellow cards, none to us. Nothing I'd tried so far had worked. When I complained about tackles, he just smiled. So by now, I was getting desperate. 10 minutes to go, I blatantly controlled the ball with my arm, but he somehow missed it. They need a bit of video technology.
Yeah.
There. A few minutes later, I swore at a linesman. Don't try that at home, kids.
No.
Trigger didn't hear it. Things weren't going my way. I could not get booked for love or money. 3 minutes to go. The ball was loose, and their midfielder, Chopper Chalmers...
Chopper Chalmers?
Chopper Chalmers, yeah. Got possession.
Judith.
I threw myself into a studs-up tackle, and the next thing, there was a loud crack, a scream, and an outbreak of handbags. That's it, son, you're off, says Trigger, waving the red card vigorously before calling the trainer on. He showed 6 more cards in the argy-bargy that followed this. I left the pitch. But to my shame, Father Simon, I wasn't the one being sent off. I was actually being carried off with my right leg shattered. It was me that missed I missed the match I wanted to miss, all right, but several others to boot. In fact, says Lanky Frankie, I never played football again, ever.
Me.
And Chopper Chalmers was banned for 6 weeks for what was perceived as the worst tackle that Trigger had ever seen. So therefore, this didn't quite work out the way I was expecting, but clearly forgiveness from many people, not from my teammates who didn't even qualify for the FA Cup, useless. I also don't seek forgiveness from Mad Barry, who held me up as an example of the commitment he wanted from his players. Instead, I seek forgiveness from my brother Paul, as I was unable to be his best man, given that I was in hospital for 3 months.
3 months?
I also seek forgiveness to everyone at the Royal Berkshire Hospital, Reading, who looked after me when my injury could have been avoided. Finally, the person I really need forgiveness from is Chopper Chalmers, because not only did he get a lengthy ban for something that wasn't his fault, but because my then girlfriend attacked him in the car park with a handbag and an umbrella while screaming obscenities at him. Obviously, don't do that. We
No.
don't encourage that. Hope you can forgive me. I only wanted to miss one football match, but was scared to ask. You see, you can't. You would think it was a very straightforward plan. It must be the easiest thing in the world to get booked in a match. Apparently not. If Trigger is in charge and Trigger's having a good day, but there comes Chopper Chalmers. He's the one who suffered, apart from our confessee Lanky Frankie, who never played football again. Sister Bobby.
Careful what you wish for, eh? It's really sad because I understand the conflict of interest. There's many a wedding that I don't turn up at because they booked it in August, and I'm working in August always. And so I understand when you get caught out and you go, I really cannot do this, but I needed to do both things. So I understand the conflict. However, I don't understand why it's still Chopper's fault, whether you're trying to get forgiveness from him. I still don't work that out.
The referee obviously saw it in the tangle. He obviously saw it as Chopper's fault, where clearly it wasn't his fault. So it was a misunderstanding.
But surely what Lanky Frankie had to do was just own up to the fact this wasn't my... He could have... Look, he got the...
Lanky Frankie wasn't capable of speech, I wouldn't think, at this point.
Well, he could have fixed it after the fact. So that's why you're not forgiven in the end, but I forgive you what you were trying to do, because it's hard. But the thing is, really, ask, how bad can it be? Ask for the day off. Get replaced by someone better.
Very dangerous policy.
Yes. Well, I love this confession, not least for the names. Lanky Frankie and Chopper Chalmers and Trigger and Mad Harry.
Mad Harry, the ref.
Then became Mad Barry. Back to Mad
coach.
Harry again. And the cameo from the girlfriend from Lanky Frankie. Excellent stuff. I seem to remember former England captain David Beckham doing this, knowing that he was one booking away from a suspension before a major tournament. He deliberately, and he'd admitted it afterwards, picked up a yellow card that he didn't need to pick up just so that he'd get his suspension in early. So really, you're following former England captain David Beckham. So what's wrong with that? So definitely forgiven.